Hello everybody and welcome back to another anti-MLM video. I'm Christina, I'm glad you're here. Welcome to another Monat corporate call for the distributors. I already have part 1, or the first call I reacted to. I will link it up here, and this is part 2 because I saw that Monat set up their calls differently, their corporate calls differently this year, and I think they're gearing more towards the new market partners. They're aiming more at the new market partners because Monat is not doing well. A lot of Monat market partners left, the ones who were in the company already for a longer period of time. Some left and they took their teams with them, and I do believe that Monat corporate is now focusing on the new market partners. It is getting harder and harder to recruit these, but in part 1 they were talking about the starters without giving actual tips how you can start your business well, which is totally not your business. But they have new speakers, they have new market partners speak on those calls. It is not your usual suspects, and yeah, this is part 2. I have a third video, I'm going to react to that as well, so if you're interested, keep on watching. We will get right into this call. It is called Monat Building Your Powerhouse Team. So after information for the starters, how they can best utilize the Power Start system, which they didn't really do. It was a brainwashing session, in my opinion, to start in the company, to stay in the company, and to be excited that you're a newbie. In this case, we're learning how you can build your powerhouse team.
I am so excited to be on this call with Lex, who is MMM, and I've had the incredible pleasure of working closely with Lex and being in person at events with her throughout the years, which is so exciting. And I truly have loved seeing your growth, Lex, and just the way that you pour into not just your mommy team, but into the community that you have built as a mama and as an infertility warrior, now having your beautiful baby boy. And so not only do you lead your money team with love and graciousness and kindness, but you pour that same energy and light into the world, and the world needs.
Please stop pouring into people, okay? Stop pouring into people. This is somebody who was in Monat apparently for a little bit longer, because she said, I was able to meet you over the years. This is an MMM, Managing Market Mentor, that is 1 rank above the Cadillac rank, and 0.06% of the people in the company are able to hit that. So that is 1 rank shy of becoming a director, and we're already pouring into people left and right. Stop pouring into people. Okay, thank you.
More Lex Ferrantes out there. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Lex, who is all of the things: 100K club earner, multiple trip earner, caddy driver. She's done it all, has seen her business go from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, but she's still here showing you exactly what can be done in this business. So over to you, my friend.
Thank you. I love you so much. Hi guys. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here. I'm like honored beyond belief. Like when she texted me and asked me this, I was like, "Me? You sure you have the right Lex? You're not meaning to text like Lexi DeFazio or Lexi Alvier, but me." But I'm so very grateful, you guys.
Yeah, they're really cycling through new market partners now on those calls, and I think that is on purpose. The old ones are pretty much worn out. Nobody wants to listen to them anymore. Nobody wants to hear them. They have a better representation on YouTube, I think, in the anti-MLM community, because we react to them so much that now they're actually cycling through the new people.
I wanted to talk today about like building your powerhouse team. Okay. That is one thing I am so freaking proud of is the women on my team. Like I have an incredible team. I have some amazing leaders on my team that I'm so honored to work alongside. And they inspire me daily. So I'm going to go into like some of my tips as to how to attract those people, how to set up steps and habits in your business to help you continue to grow yourself and grow them as leaders, right? Because we don't grow unless we're helping other people grow in this business. So
Let me rephrase that. You're not able to make substantial money in Monat unless you're able to recruit people who recruit people who recruit people, and then you're stacked on top of each other. It's a very wonky, it's a very funky system, because if any of the people on your team break away, if they have essential roles, if they're able to hit essential ranks and they are leaving, then you're screwed as well. So you depend on other people recruiting and being somewhat successful. Otherwise, you yourself in Monat will not be successful. And you depend on all of these people that are so amazing on her team.
first and foremost, you need to be showing up as the leader that you want to attract. Okay. That's who you're going to attract in your business. If you want a rock star who's super consistent and super passionate and super excited and does all the things, newsflash, that's what you got to do too. Okay. If you want someone who is like the epitome of a Monat rock star, that's what you have to be. Okay. We lead by example. If you are not consistent, if you're not excited, if you're not passionate, if you're not hopping on calls, if you're not doing the trainings, like what do you think your team is going to do? Okay. And in fact, I'm a big believer that your team is going to do a percentage of what you're doing. So from day one, I have always given this business 100%, as much as I could. Okay. Because I see the potential in it, I see the opportunity with it, and you lead by example. And so if you want those leaders, you have to be a leader yourself and create the space for that.
I doubt, though, that everybody can just give 100% because she said I gave 100% every day as much as I could. That's not giving 100%. At some point, you also need to run on 60% or on 50% because days can be so completely different. You will wear yourself out so quickly if you always give 100%. That's not a possibility. I don't believe that.
I know when maybe you're newer and you haven't seen a lot of, big checks or big success or any rank ups yet, it's kind of hard to like view yourself as a leader, right? I think it takes some effort to really build that confidence. But if you want to attract those people that see this, right, that see the opportunity, you have to have unwavering confidence in what this opportunity can bring you. That is one thing I've done from the very, very beginning of my business before I even made a paycheck was I truly believed in what this can do for people. Okay, one, I was already using the products and I saw firsthand what they were doing. We all know we have the best freaking products available on the market. You shouldn't have any issue and confidence in sharing them because you know they work. But as far as the business, right, especially if you haven't seen a lot of success yet, you need to take effort to build your belief in it. What I would do is I would watch the $1 million videos, when like a new MPC member hits $1 million club and they make like that beautiful video, like I sat there and I watched all of those. I followed all the big leaders, right? And I knew their stories. And that helped me believe, wait, if she could do it, I could do it, right? She's just a mama like me. What's the difference between me and her? Okay. The difference between you and her is that she continued to show up, is that she showed up like a leader before she was a leader. If you're asking where, go on YouTube. I literally just searched Monat MDC videos, and like for all the MDC, what is it? A day in the life with Monat. Is that what they're called, Jensen? I think that's what they're called. But you could just search like Monat $1 million club.
And they're cringy and they're not very inspirational, in my opinion, and they don't really teach you much. But you need these if you're in Monat to be inspired, I guess. Because what is the difference between those people? They got lucky, good timing, not because they showed up consistently each and every single day. A lot of the $1 million club members, the MDC club members, they were gone for years, but now they're coming back out of their caves because they have to post regularly, because they need to speak to team members, because they need to be on opportunity and team calls because Monat is not doing well. So they didn't show up. They were lucky. They had good timing, they had a good following, they're good at sales, they're conventionally attractive people. They probably are also okay with network marketing because morals don't matter in this case for them. They were able to make a good amount of money, but not because they're the hardest worker or because they were the most consistent. There's a lot more to people being successful in network marketing than just their work ethic. So that's false. But on those calls, people like to tell you that because, of course, it sounds so much better than, well, they got lucky. They joined 9 years ago and you're joining now. So good luck.
And like you'll see all of them, Krista and Christina and Brady and all of them. And I just sat there and I watched all of them. And like you just see they're just normal people like you. And that truly builds your confidence in this. Like even if you haven't seen it yourself, you can see it happening for other people, right? So it's social proof. Okay. Another thing that I think a lot of people kind of make a mistake when not a mistake, but it's just like a thing that you have to learn and grow with in your business is this is a business where if you're 18 and up and you live in a country that we sell in, you can do this business, right? And I think a lot of people kind of approach it in a way where like anyone can do this, anyone can do this, I can help everyone. And like, yes, you can help everyone. But when it comes to like building your powerhouse team, like finding your rock stars, okay, people like you are going to join you. You need to find people like you. Okay. I call it if you're in Glow Gang, if you're one of my Glow Gang people, I call it your dream avatar. You need to know exactly who you're trying to find, exactly who you're trying to help. Okay, because if you're trying to recruit everybody, you're trying to talk to everybody, you're not talking to anybody, right? Because it's so broad, it's not specific. You're just throwing out all these facts, right? And people like there's not a lot of trust if someone doesn't relate and connect to you, right? So you need to be very strategic when you're. This is primarily towards your content. When you're outputting content, like trying to recruit, you need to be very strategic and intentional with who you're trying to talk to. Okay, for example, I am 34 years old. I am a in vitro mama. I was a law enforcement wife. Monty enabled me to help bring my husband home to do something else. But so when I am sharing, and I was a real estate agent before I did this. So when I'm creating content, like as far as trying to attract people into the business, like kind of those curiosity posts or opportunity posts, I am talking to mamas or women who are trying to be mamas. I am talking to law enforcement and first responder wives. I am talking to real estate agents, insurance brokers, sales reps who are tired of the burnout. Okay, that's pretty specific of who I'm trying to speak to, right? Who I'm trying to share a solution for them, right? When you're talking about the business opportunity and you're sharing it in a way to try and draw people in, you need to talk about it in a way where it's a solution to something they are struggling with. And like if you're trying to share all these different solutions for all different kinds of people, like that's when you kind of come off as like spammy and salesy and like kind of icky and not trustworthy. But if you are trying to talk to someone who is similar to you and you're sharing it in a way where it's solving a solution to a problem that they have, that's when the trust is established. That's when the connection is established. So
You still have to speak to a lot of people, though. You have to put this opportunity out for everybody. And then you need to find your target audience, the people you can relate to. And out of that group of people that you might be able to recruit, and I don't think she's wrong there, not everybody will try to be successful or can be successful. Not everybody can recruit people and sell products. Some people will fall off just as quickly. And once the people are on your team, you cannot focus on everybody. You cannot focus on somebody who just recruited one person and here or there sells a product. So what do? You focus on the people on your team who recruit and who sell, who are eager, who they always say hungry, which is such a horrible word in that context. They're hungry for the success because they want more, and you focus on these people and you try to support them in recruiting more and in selling more, because these are the people that you depend on if you want to keep your rank or if you want to rank up. You need the masses to have the group volume and the downline volume, because the more people purchase products or sell products, the better. But then you also depend on the people who hit certain ranks, who recruit a certain amount of people so that you can rank up. It's really, really vicious. It's vicious Tetris, in my opinion, because all of that can fall apart super quickly. But those are the rock stars that she mentions here, the people that you need to focus on.
I call it your dream avatar. Okay. So know exactly who you're speaking to, who you can help as far as the business. Okay. The products is a little bit easier because it's going to be someone who has your hair type or your hair texture, right? If you follow me, you know I talk a lot about my oily, greasy scalp, how I was thinning from my infertility treatment, but yeah, my ends were dry and brittle. Okay. And that's pretty much all I talk about. So I'm talking a lot about our scalp scrub, our IR clinical system, our Rejuva beads. And like, last year when they launched, like, oh, these are the top 5 products you sell. Guess what my top 5 products I sell were those. Okay. So similar to the business, you need to share in a way where it's a solution to things that people are struggling with. So I'm sharing about how it's enabling me to be home with my child, how I'm not missing a single moment, how now I have the means to be able to do more in vitro fertilization when we're ready, how now I never have to go to a wedding or do a holiday alone because my law enforcement husband no longer gets called into work, right? Showing those kind of things that are going to share a solution to your dream avatar's problem. Okay. And like a lot of the women on my team are all mamas, right? The majority of my team is mamas who want to be home with their babies, or law enforcement wives or fire wives, right? Because they connect to me and they relate to me. Um, okay, where am I? Sorry, I'm looking at my notes over here so I don't go all over the place. Okay, so if you don't know who your dream avatar is, it is who you were when you started this business. Why did you decide to do this business? Okay, everyone decides to do this business because they see this opportunity as a solution to a problem that they are having, right? So that's who you were when you started the business. That's your dream avatar. That is who you are talking to. Okay. Remember, like I want you to remember dream avatar. I'll summarize it at the end, but that's going to be a little bit of like my homework that I give to you. Okay. All right. So now you know who your dream avatar is. Now you need to create content that provides value to them. Okay. And when I say value, I don't mean a discount or savings or like the paychecks, right? I mean, you are educating them, you're inspiring them, you're uplifting them, you're sharing hacks, you're sharing tips, you're sharing recipes, you're sharing relatable mom stuff, right? You are not just money. That is so, so important. I think a lot of people, especially when we're busy, right? I'm guilty of this as well, is we're just so excited to share our products and share our opportunity. Like a lot of times all we post is money. And like, guys, the only people who are following us for money content are money girls. Okay. So you need to be outputting content that provides a value to your target audience that is not Monat related.
If you just post about Monat, it's not attractive. And a lot of the Monat market partners have a bigger following because they're being followed by other network marketers in Monat. And they put the content out pretty much for free. They don't get paid for that. So it must be exhausting trying to attract an audience, posting about your life, what is going on with your children, with your infertility story, in her case, very likely, being the wife of somebody who worked in the police enforcement, and that's what you need to post about. Trying to attract those kind of people, about your worries, your hopes, going to a wedding and how your hubby can go with you, posting about your kids, about your groceries, all of that is extra work and you don't get paid for that. But you have to do it to mix up the content, because if you just post about the Monat shampoo, the Monat products and the business opportunity, you will not attract new people with new eyes on your content, and then you cannot try to sell them on the products or on the business opportunity. It sounds exhausting. The more I hear these people speak and what they do and what they have to do to attract an audience, be strategical, just to have more eyes on the content with the possibility to sell this crappy business opportunity, it sounds absolutely exhausting. It's work 24/7.
So I'm very intentional with doing like motherhood stuff, marriage stuff. I do a lot of like kind of tough love business mindset stuff. I share like my postpartum workouts. I share cute casual outfits, right? Because those are the things that are going to allow people to connect to you. You know, if you've ever watched one of Alexi DeFazio's training on her social media, she's amazing. But she calls like her reels, right? Her value add reels. She calls them like fishing lines so you can reel in the people to your business. Okay. So we can reel in those dream avatars. So be intentional with creating value add content that's not just Monat, specifically for your dream avatar. Okay, so now on to the next step. I know you hear this all the time. Every single leader will tell you consistency. Consistency is key. Okay, if you are not consistent, people do not trust you, and therefore they are not going to join you or buy from you. Okay, consistency is key. And again, if you want to attract rock star leaders are consistent. So you have to set yourself up for success by putting it on your calendar and like making the time to do it. Okay. When I first started this business, I've been in it for 5.5 years now. My first 2 years, I was still a working real estate agent, and I worked at an office that was a 55-mile commute each way. So I was literally driving 110 miles a day, and I sat in traffic. So it was like 4 hours of commuting a day. I was in office all day long. I would show homes until it was dark, and then I would commute home. I did not have a lot of time. So I was very, very, very strategic with creating little spots throughout the day. Or if I had a day where I'm like, okay, I didn't have showings, I would change my shirt 5 times and I would batch a bunch of content to like have it ready. Okay, you need to set yourself up for success and put it on your calendar of when you're going to find the time to do it. Because if you don't do that, you're not going to do it. And then you're not going to be consistent, and people aren't going to trust you, and you're not going to attract those people into your business.
But that is just the content production side. These people are not content creators. They need to produce content to attract people to the business opportunity they have to offer. They still need to sell the products, advise the people, be in the DMs, be on team calls, be on opportunity calls, and you still need to recruit the people. That was just the example about content creation. That's a burnout in the making if you have an actual job besides that finances your life. YouTube is not my job. I'm very open about this, that I don't want YouTube to be my job. It's not something that I strive towards. It's a hobby to me. I like the creation of the videos. I like anti-MLM content. And for me, it's kind of a hobby. It's a private thing. It's a relief aside from and a creative outlet in a way, aside my regular job. But also I have to sacrifice free time to do these videos. I have my regular work, and at some point it can be exhausting. You need to plan your days, when to film, on what weekends. Next weekend I'm busy. I have booked a staycation in Berlin, which I'm excited about. The weekend after, it is birthday celebration, so I need to be on top of that as well, and it can be a lot. And in this case, she just spoke about the content creation. You will have to work 24/7. And I do believe that a lot of these people work towards burnout without even recognizing that.
So setting yourself up for success means creating habits and a schedule. One thing that really helped me, especially when I was still working full time, was I had like a days of the week plan. Okay, so I have like a list over here, just kind of examples of what I did. So like Mondays, I talked about the Monat opportunity. I like whether it was a reel, whether it was a live or something. And then was my admin day. That's when I was doing like all my flexship reminders, my birthday coupons, like reminding them about VIP points or whatever, like checking in with all my customers, posting my VIP page. Okay. Tuesdays, I did like a hair tip or a tutorial. Wednesday, I know it sounds cheesy, but I'll talk about this more towards the end of my training, a Woman Crush Wednesday. Okay, you don't actually have to say, this is my Woman Crush Wednesday, okay? But you need to share the stories of other women that inspire you in this business. Because if they inspire you, they are probably going to inspire your dream avatar that's in your audience watching you. And so every single week, if every Wednesday you are sharing a few stories of women who inspire you, like you're touching base with all of those people that are watching, that are kind of curious and like want to do this, but they don't know if they could do it. And then you just so happen to share that reel of that firefighter's wife that speaks to that, that speaks to that girl that's been watching you. Okay, I will say, so I'm going to shout out my upline, Najla, in here. Naj, happy anniversary, babe. I love you. She was so beyond consistent about bringing this up to me. I said no to Naj for 6 freaking months. I said no to her 6 months, and she was a good friend of mine. It wasn't until she shared of a live of Nicola Nelson talking about how she cut her husband's overtime hours with this business. And I was a police wife, and I was like, wait, her husband doesn't work overtime anymore? Like he doesn't have to work holidays anymore? Okay, I'll do it. Right? That's what got me. So every Wednesday, try and make it a habit. It doesn't have to be Wednesday. It could be any day of the week. It's just, I like things like kind of, oh my gosh, Wednesday, whatever day works for you. Okay, but have a day of the week where you're consistently sharing the stories of other women who inspire you, because if they inspire you, they're going to inspire your dream avatar.
So translation, be annoying. Whether it's your friend or random people, always catch up with them, always offer them the business opportunity, although they already told you no multiple times over the course of half a year. That is so annoying, and that's also why a lot of friendships end, because I could not respect that. If I told a friend who did network marketing, I'm not interested, I do not want to buy the product, and I do not want to buy into the business opportunity, don't ask me these things again. You will always receive a no from me, and it's a predatory system I fundamentally disagree with. If you're not able to respect those boundaries, then that person would be out of my life at some point, because it's too precious of a life and free time to deal with that. So that is super annoying. But of course, when you're in that system, you need to reach out to people regularly, and you need to tell yourself, well, I'm helping them because a no doesn't mean no forever, it just means not now. When in reality, a no means no, and then just walk away.
Thursday, I would do like a series of before and afters. Friday, I would talk about payday. Saturday, I would do something like inspiring or mindset, manifesting, whatever, right? That's kind of my pillar of what I like. And then Sunday, make sure you're doing a non-money value add content to your audience. All right. So I had every day of the week, I had like a game plan of how I was going to work my business. And I set aside the time to do it. Okay. That's the only way you're going to be like, you have to set aside the time to do this. I know a lot of people say like, oh, treat it like a business and it'll pay you like a business. No, honey, you need to treat it like a job until it's at a point where it's a business, right? And then you can like be your own boss. Okay. You have to boss yourself around if you want to be your own boss. So you have to set aside the time and give yourself a schedule and give yourself work hours of like when you're going to be doing this. Okay. I always did. I never knew like a name or what I would call it. I actually got to give a shout out to Alexia Alvear, because she said this and I was like, oh, I never knew what I would call that, but that makes sense. She called it a Monat sandwich. And what it is every day, I do it on my stories, every single day, no matter what.
Did she say sandwich? I understood scamwich, but I guess it's sandwich.
No matter what is going on in my life, no matter how hectic it is, okay, in my entire career, I have not shown up for one day because I was unconscious having a C-section. Every single day, no matter what, I did the Monat sandwich on my stories. And if you do not know what the Monat sandwich is, it is sharing either the products or the business, and then sharing not money in the middle, and then on the end of it, the products or the business. Okay, so every morning, I somehow share the products in my story. Okay, I'm doing the IR Clinical or the Rejuva or dry shampoo or my BB cream or whatever, and then I'm going about my day and I'm sharing what I'm doing, and I'm sharing something funny and mom life stuff and kids at the park and all the things. And then at night, I'm talking about the opportunity. Okay, your Monat sandwich needs to be in your stories every dang day. Okay, because it seems redundant, it seems boring. Believe me, I've been doing it for 5.5 years, and it gets repetitive and it gets boring. But you know what? People need to see you an average of 7 to 12 times before they even remember what you do.
For 5.5 years, she worked every single day with the exception of one day because she had a C-section. That is not a flex. That is extremely, extremely sad. For 5.5 years. Wow. During that time, she had a child because luckily the infertility wasn't an issue at that point with that child, which I think is great. But how much time do you actually then spend with that child when you work? because you didn't work that day, you didn't upload that day because you were on the table and had a C-section, but the next day with your newborn baby, you already post, you already pitched the business opportunity, and then very likely more than ever, because that attracts other mothers, those who suffer from infertility. Because that's another wonderful, wonderful opportunity to prey on women and to prey on those who want to have children, because that kind of content works online. For 5.5 years, let that sink in. She didn't have a day off, with the exception of one, in 5.5 years.
Okay. And not everyone watches your stories. I think I have like 36,000 followers and my stories get like maybe 1,000 views. Okay. So it's like of my 36,000 followers, only 1,000 people are seeing it. Right. So it's like you need to be, this whole business is repetition. It's repetition. It feels boring. It feels, repetitive, but it's habits. Okay. How you build a steady, successful business and attract the people that are doing the steady, successful things is habits in your business, is repeating yourself over and over. Okay.
But you're not building a business. You're a salesperson for a network marketing company. That is not building your own business. Being a real estate agent, that is your own business if you run your own real estate company.
All right, Monty Sandwich. Next, create a system that enables your team to have something to constantly invite people to listen into. So if you're in my team, or I'm partnering with a couple other rock star leaders in here, every Monday we do a Monty Monday. And we know that at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard, there is going to be a live Zoom where people can listen in about the opportunity and about the products. Okay, if you don't have the ability to do it every single week yourself, partner with people. Partner with people your rank. Okay, so like I partnered with I'm with Tati, who's on my team, and Emily, and Kelly Collins, and Jackie Kinney, and Monica Hops. And so we all split it up. And so we only had to do 1 week ourselves. And then we have a Monday evening call where people can listen in, and we know, hey, our team always has something to invite. Hey, girl, like I love your story. I love your post, right? You seem like this could be really good for you. Are you available Monday evening? Like there's a live I would love for you to listen into. Can I send you the link? And so it's like your team always has something to invite people to listen into. Okay. Because a lot of people, like, they want to hear it, they want to see it, right? And especially if it's live, they can get their questions answered. So create something like that. It could be a live on Instagram. It could be just you going live every Monday night or whatever day works for you, but have a standing thing that your team can constantly be inviting people to. Okay. That is going to be a game changer in your business. Trust me, because even if people can't make it live, like I had a lot, like some of my, like Tati and Emily and Jackie are all hairstylists, right? So I invited a lot of hairstylists and they're still doing hair at that time. They couldn't, I can send them the recording. Be like, you missed the call, girl. Here's the recording to it, right? You can listen to it later. But that's like just a standing thing where it's weekly. You can always be inviting people to this business. Okay. Have a reason for reach outs. Take it up a notch. And then we also do a 30-minute power invite sesh where, like, so Tati just did this past week. She did Monday, she did the opportunity call, and then Wednesday she led the girls on her team. They could hop on a Zoom and she helped give them scripts to reach out to people. And she just set a timer. It's like 10 minutes. We're going to be doing this. And you're going to reach out to people and you're going to invite them to this, right? Partner with other leaders. Okay. Collaboration is going to help you, like, not only really grow your businesses together, but you're also going to build like lifelong friendships and like get to grow with incredible women in this business and get to learn from each other. And then your audiences and your teams get to hear other stories and perspectives as well. Okay. So set up a weekly thing like that. It's going to be a game changer in your business. Set up a monthly incentive for your team every month. Okay. There should be some kind of thing that you are doing for your team. I did bingo, like a bingo board, right? Krista and Christina always do incredible, amazing things for you, like that too. I know corporate's always doing amazing things for us, but if you want to be a leader in this business, you need to do your own. Do your own. When I first started, I would do like a, hey, we're going to do a 5 lives in 5 days challenge. And everyone who does the 5 lives in 5 days gets entered for a $20 gift card. It doesn't need to be a lot. It doesn't need to be huge, but incentivize them to do the business building activities, right? Not just like, oh, only if you get a VIP or a market partner, right? Reward them for doing the things that are moving their business forward. I love a dual live challenge. I do that a lot for my team. I say, hey, okay, if you do 7 dual lives in the next 7 days, on the last day, I'm going to draw a winner, right? And you're going to win XYZ, whatever it is that you want to get. But a dual live where you're both going live and you're sharing your fears about this business, you're like why you decided to do it and how to get started. That is such a powerful thing to do, to have your girls be doing. Okay. And you need to be leading by example and doing it too. So create some sort of like incentive like that. There should be one every month. Okay. It doesn't need to be all month long. It could be like I love a 5 days and a 5 lives in 5 days. That is such a perfect length of time, giving them things to do, or do these 5 things in the next 5 days and you're entered. Reward them for doing the building business activities. And that's how you're going to really start to separate like your leaders. Okay. And you're going to start to see who is actually doing the do. And then that's where a lot of your time is going to be focused on. Okay. Okay. Events. Events are huge in my team. My team does a lot of events. We see a lot of success with it. And they're a mixture of things. We do a lot of watch parties. I love, 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 love watch parties. I think they're so fun. And what I do strategically with them is I will also find another woman run business and invite her to come set up her business at my house. So like I've done like a Botox girl, like she literally set up her little Botox room right here in my office while I washed hair in the kitchen. So she's inviting all her Botox clients. I'm inviting all my hair people. We're swapping clients, right? People are supporting each other. Like they might not come for the hair, but hey, she's doing Botox at a discount. I'll come for that. And then, other people are getting their hair washed. I might get my hair washed too, right? Permanent jewelry girls, tan girls, anything, right? Partner with other women who are like kind of not competing with us, right? And both invite people to the events. It is such a powerful thing to do and it's fun. Okay. A lot of people underestimate how that can be. I'm a mama. I personally make all of mine kid friendly as well too, because mamas are like, oh, I can't, it's an evening. I'm like, bring the kids, bring the kids. We'll have snacks for the kids. My son's here. They can play in the playroom. They can play in the backyard while we wash your hair. Okay. With your baby by your side. That's what drew me in was I was watching all these women build an amazing business with a baby on their hip. And I'm like, that's what I want to do. So that's what I implement in my business.
So many tasks, so many things to do in the hopes that you might be able to make it work. Because the likelihood in Monat is slim to none. I mean, most people in Monat, according to their very own latest income disclosure statement from 2024, most people are at the lowest rank and they lose money. Just imagine you have a regular job and then you're supposed to do these tasks on top of that. Unless you already are in another network marketing company and you have successfully recruited a big enough team, you very likely have a job and you need to work for that job because that is your income. And then on top of that, you're supposed to do all of these tasks and you have to have fun because, yeah, of course, it is fun. It can be fun. I mean, I wouldn't have fun at a network marketing company if I were to go there to get Botox or permanent tattoos and there's a Monat Hun washing hair. I'd be like, no, thank you. I'm pretty good. But yeah, of course, these events can be fun and you put them out there and you have to have fun as well. You have to be somewhat energetic. If you're like a snail in the corner, like, I'm not going to talk to anybody. Of course, you will not attract people either. Imagine how much work that is on top of your actual job, on top of having a family life, having friends. You won't have time left. You truly have to work 24/7.
Events, other just like team building events too. Like next Saturday, we're getting together and we're doing like a content day, and we just have like a big backdrop, and we're just gonna take content on our phones and like by the pool at Naj's house, and just get women together, get people together. It doesn't even need to be like a presentation about money. You don't have to even talk about money, but just getting women together. Go do like a hike. Invite a bunch of women. Hey, we're gonna do a hike, or we're gonna do a park cleanup, or do a gratitude event. I know in the past I've done like blessing bags for a women's shelter. I like made a graphic. I went to the women's shelter and I said, what items do you need? She gave me a list. I made a graphic with it and I said, hey, we're all going to do a picnic in the park. I'm going to buy pizza for everyone and we're going to put together blessing bags. Bring your donations. And I was blown away at how many absolute strangers I had never met, just saw my Facebook post, showed up at the park with blessing bags, and we just got to connect and like work with other people. And then they're starting to see like, oh, how do you guys all know each other? Oh, we all do money together. And then guess what? They end up following you and they end up becoming a VIP or a market partner. Okay, get people in person.
That is yet again so predatory. I'm glad she didn't say that she tried to recruit the women in the women's shelters, but you're getting people together for a charitable effort saying there are people in need, there are women who don't have much. Let's support them, but the ultimate goal is still to recruit them and to sell them on a product. Yeah, I'm not talking about Monat, but then we're having discussions about what we're doing and why I'm so successful and you could do it too. That is super wrong in my opinion, and that is predatory because you do that by pretending to be charitable. And yes, you donate a little bit, you collect donations. That in itself is not a horrible thing. I think it's good. It's good to take care of your community and the people who are in need. But that's not why you do it. You do it to connect to people in the hopes that you can sell and recruit.
Such a powerful strategy. All right, I'm going to wrap it up with my favorite, which is storytelling. Okay, if you truly, truly want to build an incredible business, incredible team, thank you, Brenna, you're so sweet. You need to master the skill of storytelling. You need to get so dang good at telling your own story. Okay, I could say my story anywhere to anyone at any time, right? Because I'm so passionate about what this can do. You know what, if you might also notice is every single big leader, every single $1 million earner, all these people that you see on the calls and all the things, their stories. right? We know Krista was on food stamps and furniture maker and on the brink of divorce, and is now able to build this beautiful life, right? We know that.
Oh, yeah, I know those stories because I poked holes into them because they change many times. Depending on the event, depending on the call, they might change, and many of them are lies. You know, Brittany Rose, who allegedly retired her husband, which wasn't true because he didn't want to get the necessary vaccination to continue as a firefighter. Those things will come to light. So, also, if you have those wonderful stories and those great story times, also make sure that they're somewhat truthful.
Christina, is a special needs mama and a hairstylist who's tired of the burnout, right? We know every single person's story. Okay, you need to get so good at sharing your story and the stories of other people, because the reality of this business is, you guys, is nobody does this business just because the facts of the business. Nobody cares that you can earn a car or a trip, or that we get paid 5 times a month, or we're clean or vegan or non-toxic or whatever, until they have heard the story of someone like them, and this business solves a problem that they're struggling with. Yes, the emotional connection. So true, Taylor. Absolutely true. Emotion leads to motion.
Emotional manipulation, though, because most people do not find the solution to their problems in Monate, but you got to present the few people who were able to do so, and those are the top people. They're not a good representation of what is likely going to happen in Monate to newbies joining now.
You need to punch people in the gut. You need to give them a gut punch. You need to make them feel something in order to take action. And facts tell, stories sell. People do not care about the facts of the business until they hear a story. So get really, really good. Like, that's why I mentioned the Woman Crush Wednesdays. Share people's stories every Wednesday or every day. Okay. Share the stories of people that make you feel something. Every single one of us have watched some sort of Monate story, right? If you've been to Monations or watched the MDC induction, right? We've all cried. We've all shed tears hearing the story of someone in this business, because it's inspiring. It's inspiring, and it leads people to take action. So get really, really good at that. Master your story, master telling the story of other people. If you don't know, any stories, again, go on YouTube, search the Monate Day in My Life, Monate $1 Million Club. Ask your upline for women who inspire them. Tip, create a folder on Instagram. You could create like the saved albums. I have a whole album of Monate Woman Crush Wednesdays. And so anytime I'm coming across a Monate girl, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so inspiring. Her story's so good. Boom, it's saved in there. And so that way I set myself up for success to be able to constantly sharing those stories. Okay. I'm going to wrap it up with some homework for you guys, the little assignments. I have 4 assignments for you. Number 1, perfect your dream avatar. Who is it that you're talking to? Who is it that you're trying to attract and draw into this business with you? I want to write it all down. Write down all the details of who that person is, what she's struggling with, where she's at in life, what are her interests. Okay, get real, real deep, because that's how you know you're going to be able to provide that value add content. Number 2, I want you to make a reel that is your story and pin it at the top of your profile. People need to know why you do this business. Okay, if you go to my profile, you can go to it. You could see my story. You could see facts about me. You could see Power Start. Okay, like there are things pinned at the top of my profile that are strategic. So if someone comes to my profile in 10 seconds, they know what I'm all about. Okay, so that is a challenge. Make a reel that is your story. Pin it to the top of your profile. It could be you going live. I think mine is me. I just prop my phone up on my car phone holder, and I'm just driving, and I just wrote my story on it, and my story just kind of scrolled across it. Okay, it doesn't need to be crazy elaborate, whatever, but make a reel that's your story and pin it to the top of your profile. Number 3, create a weekly virtual thing that your team can invite to. It might be you going live, it might be you partnering with a couple girls, it might be a Zoom, but have something every day at this time, that your girls can invite people to listen in. All right, it's going to take a few weeks to ramp up. Let me give you a little warning on that. Is, I know when I first started doing like team calls and all the things, like it's funny how many times it was like just me and my upline on a call, but I'm like, we're still gonna do it. We're still gonna take content. We're still gonna, even watch parties too. My first several watch parties, it was like my mom and my upline, and I'm like, that's okay. We're still washing someone's hair and we're posting it. People don't know. People don't know. Okay, but consistency is key. You've got to keep showing up.
Even when it's fake. But at least I got some good content ideas.
Okay, that is why my business is where it's at, you guys, because I've never stopped. I've never stopped, and I will never stop, okay? Because this business will change your life if you do not give up. And then last but not least, you got to do the Monate sandwich on your stories daily. Okay, every single day. Monate sandwich, products, your life, not money, opportunity, or vice versa. Okay, but Monate's on the outside, and the inside is all about your life. Oh, thank you, Jensen, for writing that down. I should have written that down in there. But that's all I had for you guys. Thank you for taking time out of your day. I'm so honored.
Wow, wow, wow. So good. I feel like I don't even sell money. I work for money and I got so many gold nuggets and it's so real and relatable. And I can see why, Lex, you just naturally know how to build community because of the energy that you bring. And something that's so important for you all to remember, you are uniquely you. You create your story. Remember that everyone wants to follow your story. So they're there with you. And I'm sure that many of people who have joined Lex's team went through the whole story of her being a real estate agent, of her going through her challenges with having her beautiful baby boy. It still makes me cry when I hear you say it.
I cry
Because
every
it's so
time.
beautiful. I know I'm like, I'm getting choked. I always get choked up. I'm just the emotional one. But
Yeah, but she's an outlier. If she's one rank shy of the director ranks and she's done this for years, she's an exception to the rules. And she did a good presentation. I understand why she's successful at this. She's motivated, she is dedicated, she knows how to speak well, she's an attractive woman, she takes care of her hair, and she's good at speaking to people and inviting them. Most people are very likely not able to do so. You can learn certain tasks, but if you're not a salesy person, if you don't want to be a salesperson, you're also not good at that. So she's an outlier. She gave a lot of practical tips how she was able to be successful allegedly. I appreciate that, I have to say, because most of those calls are just brainwashing session. It was also brainwashy here or there, but she was able to give practical tips. And that is the first time in quite a while that I was on a Monat call or on a call in general where we heard practical tips. So I gotta give that to her, and I understand why the people like her. She comes across as likable, she has energy, and I understand why she is successful. But even somebody like this, with all of this energy, is not at the director ranks after 5.5 years.
consistency beats out anything else. Discipline
Yeah.
and consistency beat out anything else. This is a conversation that I have with my 14-year-old all the time. And it matters in every little thing you do. How you do one thing shows you how you can do anything, right? So, Lex, you are such a baddie, as Zoe says. That's my 14-year-old who saw
Okay.
Lex's photo and was like, who is that? What a baddie. She is just so good. And I hope you took all of the notes. But if in case you didn't, and you're like thinking about your Mo bestie who maybe skipped out on this tonight because they're like, I don't know if I need it. They need it. The recording will be sent out to you all. So the other thing that I want to share before you hop off, because we have an incredible um, call schedule coming up. If you can see this, this is our go behind the brand calls. And look at these superstars. If you don't know these ladies, you will get to hear their stories on Saturday's calls. They're all in Eastern time here, but 12 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Eastern. And you're going to get to hear these duos speak about why Monat. And I'm going to promise you right now, you want to invite your prospects. We are offering something that I cannot say, but I'm so excited about.
These are also not the tippity top people, by the way. I do know Amy Richardson. I also know the Mama Sita and her twin, but these are the people I know. The others are unknown to me. So it looks like they're really cycling through new people, trying to get new people to speak on those calls, because at some point, even the most dedicated Monatan probably says, I cannot listen to Krista Parney, Krista Crawford, Krista Rodriguez, Salvage Soul, whatever her name is now. I cannot listen to her one more time. You guys.
On Saturday that they will not want to miss this call. So make sure they tune in. It's going to be a phenomenal lineup. And that's really it. Lex, thank you again for your time. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for serving our community. We can't wait to see how you continue to grow. And for everyone who joined this call, thank you for taking your time, and give yourself a pat on the back for investing in yourself and your business. So we'll see you next week. A friendly reminder, this call will be moved to Tuesday instead of Thursday because we have lessons in leadership.
Yeah, I don't care. I will stop this now because now it's just farewell and bye-bye. And we're moving calls around. It would be nice the next time I'm on a call, which is in the middle of the night, my time, Central European time, that you announce earlier, not at my time in the middle of the night, that you cancel a call. Because Monat is Monat Global, so they're not just live in the United States. You also should cater to the people in Australia and to the people in Europe. And when I get up in the middle of the night to record a call, I want a call. I have to say, this was truly the first call in a longer period of time where we heard practical tips. Will this lead to success for Monat Market Partners? Very likely not, because we see in the income disclosure statements that the people make less and less money, and it is very likely less and less people, at least the numbers they publish, the people who are able to participate in the trips, for example, it looks like it's getting less and less people. So will that be a success story because now we have a plan how to build our powerhouse team? No, still market saturation, especially in the United States where Monat first launched, but they have to try to get new people in. And I think that with this Get the Bag summer series from Monat, that is what they're trying to do. There's one video I still have to film that will be in one of the next uploads. That's the third part of this installment that I believe in the summer series gears towards the newbies, and that is called Closing the Month. That is the busiest time of the Monat business opportunity. At the end of the month, the Huns struggle to get all of the product sales in, to have everybody on their team hit their ranks, to have the group volume, to have the downline volume, to have the PV down. The busiest time of the month, and that is what the next Monat call will be about. That is this 3-part summer series, Get the Bag from Monat. If you liked this video, then give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any upcoming calls, please do that. Feel free to do that. I would like to welcome you to this channel. A big thank you and a shout out to the channel members. I appreciate your support a lot. And if you liked this specific video, then hopefully I will see you in my next one. Until then, cheers!